Welcome back to Behind the Screens, the weekly movies talk show where we deep dive into a topic we love with a new guest each week. And this week I'm so excited because I have the Flash's Keiynan Lonsdale.
Woo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You and I go sort of way back.
Way back.
Way back. So we first met in March 2015. And I want to show you a snippet of this interview because we are just a little young.
So different.
Look at us. I don't even know how to hold a microphone back then because you were one of my first on-camera interviews ever.
I remember you saying.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of my first that I was doing. One of the first, yeah.
Making milestones together.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it. What is your favorite thing to do while you're not working?
Play video games.
Oh, me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite video
I'm playing
game?
Far Cry 4 right now.
Oh, wow. I saw the trailer for that, but I haven't got it yet.
It's so fun. Did you play Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Sorry, we're kind of on our
Sorry
own thing.
about that. No, my friend just got that, but I'm like a massive Final Fantasy. Do you know Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
That's like
Seven's
my
the best
everything. Yes, number 7 is the best one. So I play that a lot.
Oh, I'm so awkward. I love that, though.
That's cute.
We bonded over our little love of video games,
Yeah.
which is great because that's the topic we're going to get into today is the best and worst video game adaptations for movies, and we can agree that a lot of them are not so great. But before that, let's do a little catch-up with Keiynan here. The Flash is right around the corner, new season coming in October. We left off, Barry Allen is, I don't know where.
Where he at?
Where he at? So where are we picking things up with Wally?
So in general, we're 6 months, ahead from Barry's disappearance into the Speed Force. And so Wally and the whole team have sort of had to step up together. Obviously, Wally's the only Flash at this point. So he's still Kid Flash, but he's, had to take on a lot of responsibility. Iris is also like sort of manning the team. Is that the right word? Manning the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Womanning the team?
Yeah, womanning the team.
Womanning the team?
Yeah. And killing it. And yeah, everyone's having to sort of figure out how we work together without our, driving force. So it makes for some interesting mistakes.
From Wally?
From all of us.
Okay.
But overall, I think Wally is he's very conscious of the situation in regards to Iris and how this all affects her. So I think he's put his feelings sort of towards the back and he's trying to be as positive as possible throughout this whole ordeal.
Well, you are a jack of all trades, an actor, a dancer, a singer, and we heard you on the track Lay It On Me, which is a great just kind of summer anthem. But what can we expect from you possibly solo in the next weeks, months coming up?
So I am releasing I'm making an album. I've been writing an album for, I don't know.
Finally!
Yeah, so cool. I'm like, yeah, it's so cool. And so the first single off of that is going to be released really soon.
Like how soon?
I'll be making an announcement very soon.
Okay. Do you want to make it here on ET?
I can't.
Okay.
Because if something messes up, then I'll have to retract it and change it.
And disappoint fans.
And disappoint people.
I
And
understand.
I've done that before, so.
I feel like it's a long time coming. I feel like we've been talking about this for a while. So what
Yeah.
what can you tell me about the tone and the vibe of the album?
Yeah, so it's I've changed a lot as a person, and so therefore my music has changed a lot. When I was releasing stuff a couple of years back, it was a lot more dark and quite sensitive material. And I think because that's where I was at, that's what I was talking about. But now I've sort of just I'm very happy, and
Good.
I'm trying to celebrate. I want to celebrate the things that make our generation awesome.
Right.
And the things about life that are awesome, and let people know that we can have a good time.
I want to ask you, and we don't have to dive too personal, but you did make this post that got a lot of eyes on it about loving everybody. What has that fan reception been from people reaching out to you and saying things like, oh, I'm so glad you did this because this helped me in some way?
Yeah, it's been crazy. People contact me every day, and a lot of it is people saying that, their whole lives have changed and they've built up so much confidence, or even if they're still struggling, in terms of sexuality, they feel so inspired and they feel better about themselves. Even in countries that don't accept them, they have more strength. And I was like, that's really cool,
Yeah.
And so I think, how I see it is we've seen so much in terms of people repressing themselves. We've seen all the pain, so much loss that comes of that, and so much yeah, of the negative sides to it. And so I guess what I realized I can give and show people is like all the joy that comes out of being yourself.
Right.
You know, not the loss, but the gains.
Right.
So, and I hope that people see that and it can change their minds.
That's great, and for people all over the world too.
Yeah, that's the beauty of social media, right? Like it can be this dangerous thing, but it can also be one of the most brilliant things as well.
See, I love social media. I think it's
too.
done so many great things for a lot of people, but for me too.
Yeah, you have to figure out what does it mean to you, and once you accept it for what it is, you control what you put out, and you control what people can write whatever they write to you, and they can do whatever, but you get to control how you feel about it.
Right.
Or if you take it in or not, like if you want comments, if you post a photo or not, like it is up to you.
Yeah.
And like the more that people view it as a positive thing and use it as a positive platform, the more that's what it becomes.
Right.
So we have that power.
Well, let's dive into the topic of the week, the best and worst video game adaptations. There's some okay ones and there's some bad ones, and I don't even know if there is a great one. But what is your favorite video game movie of all time?
It would have to be Pokemon, like the first movie.
Oh my gosh, that's what I put.
Yeah, okay, cool. Because I think that's a clear winner. I remember like when I didn't get to see it in the movies when people were giving out like the Mew cards, like the special cards.
I didn't get a Mew card.
Yeah, neither did I. Everyone in my school got one, like all the kids. And so I felt I was like crying about that, but the movie itself was so amazing.
Did you have like a binder of Pokemon cards?
I did.
Me too. There was a kid named Kevin that stole my holographic Raichu, and then I found it in his binder, and I knew it was mine, and he lied about it,
That sucks.
and I never got it back.
Yeah. The worst thing that I ever did, like one of the things I always not regret, but I'm just like, that was shady, was when I was a kid, there was this like next door neighbor.
Oh, I know where this is going because I did this too.
Well, I basically like, I didn't really like him that much, but he had all these cool Pokemon cards. So I was like, I only played with him for his Pokemon cards to like try and win them over. And that was a low move, but I was like, I don't know how old it was, like 9.
I had a neighbor that did something like this to me. Like, she would play with me, and then she would take my cards. And I remember I'd go home and I'd be like, oh, like, Julie, I traded my Charizard for this, like, seal card. Isn't it cute? My mom would be like, we have to go down the street and get your Charizard back.
Yeah, we're getting it back.
Because you got swindled.
Yeah.
What would you say is one that you were the most disappointed in? Like, you were looking forward to it, and then it came out, and you were like, oh, no.
It was The Spirits Within.
Okay.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed
Yeah,
because...
because is that still your favorite game, Final Fantasy VII, of all time?
Like now it's I can't really choose. I would say actually 10 is my favorite.
Oh.
I know it's very commercial and it's like, you know, everyone's like, But it is. That's the one I have replayed the most because I'm just really into the story and the characters and I don't know. But yeah, I found like when The Spirits Within came out, I was so excited. I was also so young. So I just couldn't understand why it didn't have a lot of the elements like from the games that I love so much.
Right.
And I also, because I was so young, I couldn't tell if they were real or not.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the graphics just threw me. I was like, there's something wrong with these people. They don't look...
They look a little off.
There's something off, but I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
it was the effects.
I think, that's funny. I thought when I was younger that Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie was like the best movie.
Yeah.
And then I grew up and I realized that it wasn't that great.
Okay, I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
That's always disappointing.
This happened to me with Space Jam recently.
Yeah.
And, so I don't recommend going back and watching it because you go back and watch it and you're like, oh my gosh, this movie isn't that good.
Damn it. Do you think it's just because times have changed and so maybe like some of the jokes like you're just not like quite...
Maybe. I was just like, there's not a lot keeping my attention
Keeping your
here in
attention.
Space Jam.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, oh, Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny are
Yeah.
finally on screen together.
Finally they've connected.
They've finally teamed up.
I love that.
What about a video game movie that you would want to see or maybe see redone right?
I do want to see, like, I've always imagined Final Fantasy X as a film, like a live action film. Because I just think, I love Spira and the whole world. I think it's just so beautiful. It would be really cool to see it come to life. But also, I don't know, I'm also obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. So I think, like,
Yes.
seeing that come to life would just, I think I would die.
Do you think that would work?
I don't know. I think it would take them 50 years to do it. And then if that was the case, I would have faith that they would do it right. I think that's the issue I have. It's like, because I feel like I work a lot and I do music a lot, usually the only games I invest my time and my heart into is Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts.
See, that's what I've been...
And Crash Bandicoot.
Oh my gosh, have you been playing the Insane trilogy? Me too. Because I don't have time to dive into a whole new game where I'm like invested for 150 hours.
So I'll lose myself.
Yeah, so now I've just been playing levels of Crash Bandicoot.
Yes, yeah, and it takes
and
me...
Streets of Rage.
Yeah. It takes me like a good day, like, or just one whole session to finish one level now of Crash Bandicoot, because I get so frustrated, like I keep dying. So, and the more you die, the quicker you try and get it done.
I am
you die again.
100% sure that the new Insane trilogy is 30 times harder.
It is.
Right?
It is.
It's harder. It's not the same. It's so hard.
It is. It's a real struggle. And it's like, you definitely have to try and keep like level-headed. It's like challenging your mind.
I did like a live stream where I was doing the one of the bonus levels and trying to get through it,
Yeah.
and I lost my damn mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. My issue is that I don't know where all these boxes are, these special boxes.
Oh, no.
And I get to the end, it's like you've missed 23 boxes, and then it just keeps hitting me with all these boxes that I missed.
Yep.
I find that really cruel, because these are like the first, 10 levels or so. This should be the easiest thing.
And you spend so much time, you're like, you know what, I'm going to get all of them.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of the level and you're like,
You missed 3,000 boxes.
3,000 boxes. Where are they? This is so annoying. I went to every bonus level. Yeah. I spent like 38 lives on this level and missed 3,000 boxes.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
been
understand
4
it.
hours.
I don't understand it. Thank you so much for coming in, talking about this. I know this is like kind of a thing we connected on a couple of years ago, and I don't know if like a lot of people know that you're super into playing video games.
Yeah, and I'm quite disappointed in myself. Like, it's something that I want to keep up and make sure, like...
Yeah, but you're not like a video game journalist where it's like
It's true.
super sacrilege that you haven't played a game yet. It's like, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody knows, but he acts and dances and sings and does all kinds of stuff. Oh, you're so cute.
I don't know what to say.
You're so busy though. It's such an escape.
It's a good escape. I think, yeah. Sometimes, like, especially when I'm playing Final Fantasy, I'm like, I do it for days, and then I go, what have I done? Like, literally do not want to go to work at that point.
Oh no.
And that's my job. Like, at that point, I'll get fired. So sometimes it's a thing where I'm like, I stay away from it on purpose because
I do that
it's
too.
so enjoyable.
I'm like, I should go to a shoot that I was assigned to and not.
I'm late.
And I'm late. Because I'm trying to find 3,000 boxes that don't exist.
But that's the beauty of it too. You do feel like you're being transformed into a whole other world.